This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
In the heat of battle, your squad relies on you. Don't let them down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Dominate every match with next-level speed, seamless streaming, and performance that won't quit. And push your gameplay beyond limits with Intel Core Ultra processors. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel Inside. Maximize your edge by shopping at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
There's nothing like sinking into luxury. At WashableSofas.com, you'll find the Anabe sofa, which combines ultimate comfort and design at an affordable price. And get this, it's the only sofa that's fully machine washable from top to bottom, starting at only $699. The stain-resistant performance fabric slipcovers and cloud-like frame duvet can go straight into your wash. Perfect for anyone with kids, pets, or anyone who loves an easy-to-clean, spotless sofa. With a modular design and changeable slipcovers, you can customize your sofa to fit any space and style. Whether you need a single chair, love seat, or a luxuriously large sectional, Anabe has you covered. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your home. Right now, you can shop up to 60% off store-wide with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Add a little to your life. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
That's good timing for that one, because want to do Vegas your way? Now you can. Join the Power Trip Morning Show live in Las Vegas, October 23rd to the 26th.
How do I get involved?
They'll be broadcasting from Tom's Watch Bar and throwing two massive football watch parties.
No.
You decide where you stay, how you fly, and how hard you party. Vegas your way, the Power Trip way. Full details at KFAN.com/Vegas.
Oh, we're just going on your own. That's basically what the deal is, right? What's? I don't get it. I thought it was all big one happy family. They all boarded the same plane, stayed at the same place.
Doesn't sound that way.
Weird. Your guy, Kevin O'Connell, I'll never forget the day we were at camp 2 years ago, I think it was, and we're talking, and Rich Gannon is getting ready to go on live, NFL Network, and he's got O'Connell as his first guest. And O'Connell's driving up on the golf cart, and you're staring at him, and you can't take your eyes off him. And you watch him pull up, and you turn your head from me, and you're not listening. You watch him, and then you introduce yourself after him. That's how you became a legend.
Well, you have to cement relationships.
Yeah.
No, it's much different now because I'm just not around the team as much as I was. You know, even when Adam Thielen was here when he started out. I mean, decades of, kind of getting to know all the coaches and all the quirky personalities and the players, obviously doing the show and just being around every day. Now I'm not. I'm still doing my show and everything, but I'm not at practice. But I've gotten to know a few of those guys.
The only time I've talked to the head coach was at Winter Park.
Winter Park.
The new Winter Park.
The new Winter Park. Well, I thought you literally meant Winter Park.
No, that's what I call it. I call it the new Winter Park.
Right.
And Bob, time for two more Hagen's retirement party.
Oh, right.
And so PA's hosting it, and PA's up there doing some kind of rah thing. And he's about to introduce O'Connell to speak. And I just go up to the next O'Connell. He has no idea who I am, and I go, "You ought to have this guy do your pregame pump-up thing." And then he just kind of looked at me, and he kind of smiled and chuckled. And I just turned away and walked away. Because PA would be the guy. He's a national treasure is what he is.
That was an interesting going-away party.
Your guy seemed a little nervous today during his news conference, almost like there's some doubt creeping into his mind about his teams.
Is that your specialty now, is recognizing
just
like
what I heard.
Quakiness in someone's voice?
I thought I heard a little trepidation, little
clutch in his
nervousness,
throat,
a little doubt about where this team has been, where it's going, and where it's headed. How about you?
Well, you're a master at that, I guess. I didn't pick up on that at all. No, I just felt it was another news conference, one of many, and I think we do have to recognize, and he alluded to it. In most of the news conference, I got a chance to hear in the context of talking about Christian Darrisaw or even potentially Harrison Smith, who has not been 100% cleared to play this week. We don't even know what's going on with him. I guess we'll find that out tomorrow. But to understand that as much publicity and anticipation is the right word that we all have waiting for Monday Night Football, it's only one of 17, and it's hard.
This is a big one, though.
It's hard to wrap your mind around that because it's like, well, okay, then the next one becomes the biggest game. They come back and play Atlanta.
I think
and if they lose this game, then they have to win that one. And they're 1-1. I'm not suggesting that, but I think we do because of football. Everything gets magnified because of the fact, of course, it's once a week and the popularity of the sport and all the matchups and especially opening weekend. And we've been waiting for Sunday night. We've been waiting for a game since the end of the last Super Bowl. Basically, a lot of fans have been.
Here's how important the game is on Monday.
All right.
Did you know? Teams that start the season 0-2, only 12% make the playoffs. Is that the number 10 to me? 12%, or is it even less than that?
Oh, is this where they counting this as 2?
Well, no, but I'm saying, so if you go 0-1, if you go 1-0, you can't be in the 0-2.
It's do or die the next game, yeah.
It becomes do or die. Then that Falcons game looms big.
I saw a stat earlier this week that only like 40-some% of division winners repeat the next year. That was more interesting to me than what you just said.
Really?
Yeah, because you're concentrating on, you're making it sound as if that game counts as 2, and it doesn't. Only.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is, if you go 1-0, then you're not in the 0-2 boat.
I understand that. Plus, it's a divisional game, and that makes more sense. It's like what the Lions are facing going into Curly Lambeau on Sunday afternoon. They're facing the same dilemma. That you can't. The Packers now they're flying high with Micah Parsons, and they can't wait to get after the kiddies.
You like this Green Bay club?
Yeah, I do.
I thought you didn't. I thought you were downplaying them.
I'm downplaying the Lions. I don't know. I'm downplaying the Lions in the context that I said with you. To me, it feels like they're due for a Viking-like letdown that they had a couple times after all the chips are in, and the Lions have had 2 great chances to get to the big game and have not got there. And it's hard to repeat that. Then you lose 2 coordinators. Yeah, it just is. That's just a fact of the National Football League. The one team that's kind of gone against the grain is tennis team, the Kansas City Chiefs. As far as at least they're not winning all the time, but they're more than likely.
You bet against them. You don't think they're going to win the division this year?
Yeah, it was for fun. But yeah, I picked Denver.
You did it just for fun?
Well, it is fun with Tenna, yeah, and for $50.
Yeah, but you made the prediction before the bet.
No, I did. I did say that. I thought that Kansas City might be in the same boat with a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, which we've seen at times.
So Super Bowl hangover.
I don't know if we've seen that out of the Chiefs over the last 7 years.
Well, no, that's right. I kind of contradicted myself. I said they've been there. They are the exception.
Do you know how many?
But I think the division's better this year.
Guess how many straight division? Do you know how many division titles Kansas City's won in a row? If you don't, I'll tell you.
Like 6?
9.
9, yeah. Well, I think the division's better this year.
It is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think Denver.
I would agree with that.
Denver's definitely figured it out. The Chargers are always, can be very difficult.
Well, what has Denver figured out?
Well, their offensive line. I think their quarterback is settling in. Number one, and they have a good defense. They've steadily built themselves. I think to a point where they can be certainly a playoff contending.
I don't think they'll be
team.
500.
Really?
I don't think Denver's going to be 500.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody's all over the map when it comes to predictions. I've checked out a bunch of them today, and man, there's some crazy ones about as far as making your projections for the playoff teams, potentially the Super Bowl team. I've seen 4 or 5 different predictions.
I think it's the Vikings and the Falcons, the NFC Championship game, and you're on your own after that.
Falcons feel pretty good about it. There are people predicting Tampa Bay is going to fall off a little bit this year. As far as the division will go, Washington, that would be one of my teams to take another step, I think. Washington, as far as in the East, to try to challenge the Eagles, who are, they just kind of reload. They lose a couple players and they add a couple players, and it doesn't seem to me that they've fallen off that much. And they got Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts running that offense, and that's still a very good offensive line.
Tend to be things Saquon might struggle week 1 on the ground.
Who are they playing? Oh, they played
Henry
Dallas.
doesn't think
I
he's
didn't
gonna-
say struggle.
Well,
I
you said
said in a commercial
Tomorrow
that
night.
He's not
his,
going to get 100 yards.
his 95.5 was like his line. I said, well,
took
I'll take
under.
the lower.
And then at that point, he was doing a commercial, so I didn't have the opportunity to signal him to play the sound effect of.
Bet.
Yeah, they're one of the big favorites for the whole weekend tomorrow night. I mean, that's really unusual, but that shows you where people think of the Cowboys in the context of what just happened, and there's kind of a mess. I mean, the kind of ripple effect that the trade of Micah Parsons had on the team, and Dak Prescott being so wildly inconsistent. So, and the game's in Philly.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Do you think J.J. McCarthy will be more like Josh Allen or Babe Pirelli?
Babe Pirelli. There are 3 people out there who know who Babe Pirelli is.
Here's what I'll tell you. I'm going to make everybody's, they say, well, what are you making predictions?
Right.
Here's my prediction. I'm going to say J.J. McCarthy will have a career like Dan Pastorini. That was a pretty good career. Oh my gosh. Dan Pastorini was a good career. Dan Pastorini.
Yeah, but he'd sling it 50 times a game.
He went to 2 AFC championships.
Yeah, he was a.
If it wasn't for the Steelers, we wouldn't. If it wasn't for Chuck Noll's steel curtain defense, Dan Pastorini, we would be. He had
a rocket arm.
Well, he was a hell of a. He went to 2 NFC championships. They got to the door. They knocked on the door, but they just happened to be. It's sort of like Ernie Els and VJ Singh and all these guys. Think how many majors they could have won if Tiger Woods wasn't standing in their way, much like the Steelers.
Well,
I think if he became a Dan Pastorini, that would be a good career.
That'd be a hell of a career. I don't think that JJ is going to throw at the number of times that Pastorini had to throw. Mostly.
Well, they had Earl Campbell too, so they
ran
he did.
He did, and he was a lot of fun to watch.
And Danny Pastorini,
that era,
he was a tough guy. You know that in that AFC Championship game, he was wearing he was wearing a flak jacket.
I remember
because
that.
he was playing with busted ribs.
Right,
40 for 60 and 7. No, wait, that's the wrong team.
Actually, in that era, Fouts and Pastorini were my favorite quarterbacks.
Tough guys.
Yeah, AFC kind of those guys.
Yeah.
They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they don't.
No,
but
they just don't.
Yeah, so the season starts tomorrow with Dallas in Philadelphia, and then there's a whole slate of games, obviously, Sunday. And as you mentioned, the 4 NFC North teams are involved in just 2 games because it's Detroit.
Out of the blocks.
You're picking Green Bay to win at Curly, sounds like to me.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're picking the Vikings to win at Chicago.
Yes. Well, I mean, yes, I think the Vikings are a better team than Chicago. I think
I'm taking
even
Detroit,
Ben Johnson.
I'm taking Detroit to win at Curly and the Bears to win at Soldier.
That's all right.
We're on opposite ends of the fence.
Well, you got spread swing tomorrow at 1:30.
1:30?
You can. Well, of course, you'll pick the Lions because
I don't know,
do
maybe
every
not.
game. No, you do every single time.
Depends.
That's part of your bit.
One time last year I picked against them and I lost that game. I learned my lesson.
I do think that's one of the absolutely one of the more intriguing games of the weekend is Sunday, and obviously Viking fans are going to be able to watch the game at 3:00. Detroit at Green Bay, and that's normally a great game anyway. But given the news of the last week and the unpredictability with the Lions situation, that's definitely going to be must-see TV.
What's the unpredictability about the Lions?
2 new offensive coordinators.
When you got a leader like Dan Campbell, the guys just fall right in line.
He doesn't call plays.
Doesn't need to call plays.
Doesn't he? He just calls 4th downs. That's what he does when
He's
on
really
their
good
own
at it, too.
25-yard line.
I think Bill Belichick has proven it's more important to have talent than the coaching.
Yeah, correct.
Danny Campbell.
Well, they're hurting on that offensive line a little bit. We'll see. I don't really care. I honestly don't have a favorite. I don't really care who wins the game. They're NFC North teams, so what difference does it make? One of them will be 0-1, so.
And then if you're 0-1 and you go 0-2,
then you're in big trouble. So the kiddies better hope they.
Can you look up that percentage again, Teneby? There's some percentage.
We go through this every year.
Teams that start 0-2, it's a death sentence, man. It's a curse, is what it
can
is.
be. Yeah.
We'll pause. We'll return. More to go with the legendary Mark Rosen, Teneby in Common here on the Fan.
Time for a sofa upgrade? Visit WashableSofas.com and discover Anabay, where designer style meets budget-friendly prices, with sofas starting at $699. Anabay brings you the ultimate in furniture innovation with a modular design that allows you to rearrange your space effortlessly. Perfect for both small and large spaces, Anabay is the only machine-washable sofa inside and out. Say goodbye to stains and messes with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics that make cleaning easy. Liquid simply slides right off. Designed for custom comfort, our high-resilience foam lets you choose between a sink-in feel or a supportive memory foam blend. Plus, our pet-friendly, stain-resistant fabrics ensure your sofa stays beautiful for years. Don't compromise quality for price. Visit WashableSofas.com to upgrade your living space today with no-risk returns and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Get up to 60% off plus free shipping and free returns. Shop now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.
Step into the magic. The Minnesota Renaissance Festival runs weekends right now through September 28th. Get your tickets now at renaissancefest.com and enter for your shot to win a pair of tickets on our contest page at KFAN.com, keyword contest.
Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man program. That tennis player, is that a Daffy Duck shirt he's wearing?
I just glanced over it and I just missed it.
It looks like Daffy Duck.
It does look like it.
But I don't know.
That's a sponsor?
Duck. I don't know. It looked like Daffy Duck to me. Speaking of Daffy, approximately 88.5% of NFL teams that start the season 0-2 fail to make the playoffs.
Dun, dun, dun.
This statistic is based on the period from 1990 to the present, during which just 32 out of 279 teams that began 0-2 have gone on to the postseason. The two most important games of the season are the first two. You go 0-2, you're done.
Boy.
So if you go to Soldier and you lose, the whole season comes down to Atlanta. If you lose to Atlanta, your season's over.
Well,
it's over. Mark,
if the Kitties lose to the Packers, they play
but this is the Viking station. We're not talking about.
I know, but I'm just saying you could fill in the blanks for pretty much all the.
That's what I'm saying. It's an important. The first two games are the most important games.
Yeah. And the Packers have Washington next week at home.
Do we get Atlanta here or there?
Here.
We'll see.
Sunday night football.
We'll be okay then. Because if we lose to the Bears, we should be able to handle Atlanta.
Well, they should. I mean,
then they'll be 1-1, and then you can breathe a sigh of relief.
They have. These are all.
What if in that game, though, Michael Penix Jr. goes down and then Kirk Cousins comes in?
You like that? It leads them to victory, and we're 0-2.
How about that? That would be just devastating.
Then you know what we look forward to? February
draft. Oh
no, pitchers and catchers report.
I don't think anyone's looking forward to that. No.
Yeah. Are we really looking forward to that this year?
I don't think there's a person around that's looking forward to pitchers and catchers.
These limiteds might invest some money in payroll.
I think it's much more complicated than that.
You do?
They may very well end up.
Who are the limiteds?
They haven't announced that yet.
You know.
I do not.
Oh, come on.
I just think that
Dave St. Peter's told you. One of your sources inside the Twins have let you know. There's keeping it from us.
What I have heard is that there's definitely differences within the Pohlad family. I mean that's part of the problem. You have estates. I mean, you get so much stuff going on, moving parts, and a lot of inexperience when it comes to running baseball operations. They had the debt that was incurred. There's a lot of things we just don't know. There's so much more complex than just sell the team or
right.
That's the problem. And within the family, I was watching The Godfather the other night, and it kind of reminded me of that.
You know, my favorite line from The Godfather is,
what's that?
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is a great line from The Godfather. I mean, Brando pulled that off like no one else.
How he did it, I don't know.
Anyway. They were 11,000 announced last night. I had the game on for a grand total of 15 seconds. 15. Let me finish my sentence. 15 seconds, because I think it was the Twins led at one point. I don't even know. And I looked up. I mean, some guy
got excited about the club when you saw they had the lead.
I didn't get excited for 1 second, because they have guys that are there that are they're not even. They shouldn't even be in St. Paul. I mean, they should be down in Fort Myers pitching Class A. That's where they should be.
Well, they got hopes and dreams, Mark.
They do, and their hopes and dreams are about 5 years away.
When people saw you on Channel 4 for the first time, maybe they thought the same thing. Maybe they said, this guy, they might have thought this guy needs some seasoning.
I did.
Well, you didn't. You never went to the minors.
Well, but I had bosses that were a little skeptical of how much I was. I had a boss tell me, you're not moving the needle, man. You got to be more of yourself.
Well, who were you trying to be? Howard Cosell?
No, I thought I was trying to be more. I was trying to be more of myself, but apparently it wasn't working at that.
Tell me the truth. When those consultants come, they say you've got to just be like the listener, the viewers. You have to hurt like they do. You have to be happy like they do. They have to think you're just like the guy next door.
No, they've never said that.
Oh.
I had some good consultants that I worked with, and they basically would draw like a pyramid type of thing, and with sports much more than the newscasters, whether it be Shelby or Frank and Amelia or whomever, I had the ability, the opportunity to take my personality and go from here to, not the wacky sports guy, you know what I'm talking about.
Not Russell Shamoka.
But, no, Russell Shamoka. But to be more of myself, like I am with you every day.
Yeah.
But there was a time when, you're a little hesitant, you're more hitting automatic, but she would encourage me to,
you're
push the envelope.
You're trying to be more like a sportscaster guy.
And it wasn't trying to be
yourself.
It wasn't trying to be come up with a catchphrase or some sort of bada bing, bada boom, type of thing. But
I like bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah,
I like that.
That was his signature.
I thought you were in trouble. I did. I thought you were in trouble.
That was a really, really weird time in our broadcast business here because
I thought you were going to get pushed. I thought you were going to be pushed into the
I work with Shaver now indirectly because he's in talking with sports as well. He's doing his high school football stuff, but he
has a love of high school football.
He does. It's good for him. I mean, he loves it, and he keeps doing that, and it keeps him going. It's great. But yeah, we haven't really talked about Shamoka, but I know the stories are there. They thought he was going to be the answer to challenge me. Yeah.
I thought it was too. I have to admit, it didn't
work out real well.
How many have tried to best Mark Rosen and they just pushed to the wayside?
Oh man, that was well. We had some interesting times at our station too, so it goes hand in hand. You work someplace long enough, you're going to have a lot of different bosses and different scenarios that work out, and we had a couple doozies. I was very fortunate to work with a lot of really great bosses, but there were a couple that should have been in Fort Myers. Leave it at that.
Wow.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to mention some names?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, go ahead then.
I don't care.
Go ahead.
The GM was Renee Laspina, and the news director was Maria Rattan. And they came in here and they thought they were going to be. They
had all the answers.
Well, Maria hired. She didn't even tell me she was hiring. I've always been, at least had a hand in hiring people like Ed Heil and other, people in our sports department. I didn't necessarily have the final say because I wasn't doing the negotiating, but I would have, they'd say, hey, Mark, what do you think about so-and-so?
Yeah.
I give my feedback.
You're like a consultant.
Yeah, I was like a consultant. Yeah.
And they just force people on you.
Well, and they did. Yeah. They said, Maria called me. She said, well, basically we want to sex up the department.
Did she say sex up?
Yeah. Those are the words she used.
Huh.
So there you go.
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's nothing. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. It's just.
Well, no, it sounds like
too late.
I know.
So
but
what happened now?
I mean, they hired her. So they hired her.
Actually said they wanted to sex up the department.
Well, yeah. I mean, she thought she was going to be the one that kind of replaced me. They had a game plan to replace everybody. The late great Bill Carlson. They replaced him off the noon show. They took Amelia off the air when she was pregnant with her twins, who are now 21, 22 years old, or whatever they are.
Well, they're probably
both illegal. That was illegal.
21, 22. They're either both 21 or they're both.
Well, I know you're right. I said 21 or 22. I don't know how old. I don't know how old they are, but I'm just saying that there was a whole gamut of. They basically wanted to do to our newsroom what the Twins did at trade deadline: sweep everybody out.
That might not have been a bad idea.
You should write a book on this.
You know that?
I had
no.
Let me explain something to you. I had the chapter in my book, but that was when I was still working at WCCO, and there was no way in hell. The bosses didn't even want me to mention CNN in my book, and I'm not making that up. Even though we were working with CNN on big national stories, with satellites and all.
From an unbiased viewer, I thought there was time to break up that newsroom and sports department myself. I kind of agreed with what they were trying to do.
All right. Well, you didn't get your wish.
Tandy, how about you?
I thought Rosen had enough sex appeal to begin with. I don't know why we need to go elsewhere.
Well, it certainly moved the needle with the ladies.
You sure did.
I just made that
You
up.
still do. Yeah.
You got me talking today.
Okay.
I don't care. I really don't.
Why don't you anymore?
No, I didn't write the chapter. I wrote the chapter, and it was in the book, and then the attorneys at CBS got a hold of it and went, this is not going to print.
You might be hearing from some attorneys yet today.
Oh, no. They can't touch me anymore. So
Can't touch that.
no.
We'll take a break, come back, and one more segment to go with the legendary Mark Rosen here on The Fan.
Tired of spills and stains on your sofa? WashableSofas.com has your back. Featuring the Anabe Collection, the only designer sofa that's machine washable inside and out, where designer quality meets budget-friendly prices. That's right, sofas start at just $699. Enjoy a no-risk experience with pet-friendly, stain-resistant, and changeable slipcovers made with performance fabrics. Experience cloud-like comfort with high-resilience foam that's hypoallergenic and never needs fluffing. The sturdy steel frame ensures longevity, and the modular pieces can be rearranged anytime. Check out WashableSofas.com and get up to 60% off your Anabe sofa, backed by a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not absolutely in love, send it back for a full refund. No return shipping or restocking fees. Every penny back. Upgrade now at WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change, and certain restrictions may apply.
Kick off the 2025 season of Minnesota Vikings at US Bank Stadium with a kickoff concert from Russell Dickerson before the home opener when the Vikings play the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday, September 14th. It is a free concert in Commons Park outside US Bank Stadium, presented by Miller Lite. Get the full details now at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Help. Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. It's 10 to be Mark Rosen here as well. Joe Smith, Athletic. Dateline, St. Paul, Minnesota. Craig Leopold stood on the concourse of the newly renamed Grand Casino Arena, opened his sport coat and smiled. I got Kirill's contract in my pocket. He joked. Yeah. Wild Owner was there to celebrate the new partnership with the Ojibwe, the Blacks Band. 14-year naming rights deal, Grand Casino Arena. He said, I just feel like we're not that far off. I kind of think we're there. I like to believe when Kirill comes over and gets a sense again for the excitement and the love of the city, I think we'll be moving forward in a good direction. Kaprizov, less than a year away from unrestricted free agency, scheduled to arrive in the Twin Towns from Russia next week. Leopold expects the winger will have a face-to-face meeting with the president of hockey operations and GM Bill Guerin shortly after. Leopold doesn't usually get involved in contract talks. That's Guerin's space, but the owner admitted he could be part of the meeting if asked. Will probably likely do it that way. He goes on to say, this will be a huge deal, likely the biggest in the NHL ever. There's no better human being or better hockey player or better person than Kirill. How can he be there's no better human, hockey player or person than Kirill? How does he have the trifecta on all three?
That's amazing.
I think it will be a good conversation.
That's how you negotiate a contract.
That's how that would be the.
And I don't think I don't think he's indicating that he's going to pull a Micah Parsons and like Jerry Jones and not talk to his agent. I mean, we're forgetting one very important cog in this discussion, and that's Kirill's agent, who of course will be heavily involved and has been heavily involved in the discussions. I think, obviously the Michael Russos of the world, they've all been pretty optimistic that this is going to get done. But you don't want this thing to drag on. And Kirill's here next week. I mean, within a couple of days of kind of readjusting his time frame, and his body clock, and when does training camp start, Tenna? I mean, it doesn't.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. So, I mean, I would.
Can I say something controversial here?
Sure.
Actually, why don't you go through the Leopold comments?
Says, I think it will be a good conversation that we'll have with him. I'm very anxious and looking forward to that conversation. I think we'll move quickly after that. So he thinks it's going to be, and now, is that his hopes? Well, that's what he hopes for, obviously, but whether it's that quick or not, I
don't think anyone's detected like this. They're at loggerhead. I mean, like the Micah Parsons thing is probably the best, maybe comparison right now. Although you have a really egotistical owner in Jerry Jones who thinks he can control everything, and obviously missed an important part of those negotiations, and that's talking to the guy's his agent. I don't get the sense that there's any animosity. Obviously, it's the length of the contract. The dollars speak for themselves. Depends what Kirill really does want. If he has to be sold that the Wild are really going to be contending the next 3-4 years, then maybe he'll sign a 5-6 year deal, or maybe longer. I don't know, but that's really probably going to be the Wild can offer the most money, and they're in a really good position. And Kirill does, by all accounts, does like it here. He enjoys, friends, family, restaurants, whatever it is. He likes the environment of being in the Twin City area. And he was on his way to kind of a MVP type season last year.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Now, here we go.
The framework of a Kirill Kaprizov deal has been done for a long time. It's been done for months.
Yep.
Maybe they're off on tiny little stuff that is insignificant.
Like, does he have keys to the executive washroom?
This has all been we don't get as much attention and PR for this when Kirill's over in Russia when he signs his contract. Let's just wait till he gets here.
Sure.
We'll have a big social media reveal. We'll get the anxiety for the fan base going a little bit, and then a big hurrah before the season starts to get us some positive vibes going into the season. This thing has always been extremely close to done. They've known it this whole time. They're just waiting for him to get back to Minnesota so they can just
and now that
literally put the ink on the contract.
And now that they have transformed the X into the Grand Casino Arena, they have new colors. It's a lot of blue in there, et cetera, et cetera. They can have a ballyhooed news conference there to kind of help open up the place, if you know what I mean, beyond the kind of the dog and pony show they had today with introducing Grand Casino for the first time. And that would make a whole lot of sense. It's weird because I think I just read. Did you see that Zach Parisi's going in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame? How many years ago was that? I mean, I remember being at that news conference. Was that the 4th of July or something?
It was like 14 years ago.
That was the day that we thought the Skatriots had been born.
Yeah, Parisi and Suter.
I'll never forget it as long as I live.
It was quite a news conference
I was sold
over there.
a bill of goods by several people in this town, including Tennessee. He basically convinced me we were going to be the Skatriots.
Yeah.
I bought into it. I'm never forgiving him for it.
Yeah, I know you haven't.
They were a playoff team for like the next decade after that.
Well, you're right.
Compared to where they were before.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, hopefully this will work out better.
So you both think it's a done deal. It's just a matter of...
Well, I think it's...
The framework of a deal is what I'm going with.
He's going with framework. I'm not saying it's a done deal yet until he signs it, but I don't think there's been any huge divide.
You know what it is? I think maybe I've just gotten timid in my ears, and you guys are still bold and brash. McCarthy's going to be the next Tarkenton, and he's going to sign this guy. Well, you guys are all...
But don't say you guys have.
You think JJ is going to be a really good quarterback?
This is exactly what I caution you.
Will be?
I have no bleeping idea. I'm trying to tell you, you're already setting yourself up for next Tuesday, and I said this yesterday. If things don't go exactly the way you think it's going to go, you are going to be Common at his peak.
Well, what are you talking about?
You're going to be the biggest gadfly
what do you mean?
Version of Common Man that we have ever heard on these airwaves.
Gadfly.
What do you think of J.J. McCarthy now? I told you. Everybody's telling me he's going to lead him to the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And he had pedestrian numbers. Vikings lose by a field goal. Now what do you think of him?
Well,
I would get Carson Wentz warmed up in the bullpen right now.
I know I'd get
Max Brosmer. You're going to go right past
Do you
Carson.
want to read my tweet? I would have went with I would never have signed Carson Wentz. Yeah. What a waste.
Well, you may have a point. Brosmer might be better.
Brosmer's better than Carson Wentz.
He might be right now. But anyway, it's going to be, and Tana talked about earlier in the show, when you look at the numbers, that some of the greatest quarterbacks starting out their careers, Peyton Manning and Elway, and they didn't exactly burn down the house. And McCarthy doesn't have to burn down the house in order to be a successful quarterback the first X number of games of this season. He just can't mess it up. That's the thing. And make key third down conversions. Do the things you have to do to keep the ball rolling and let the defense take over.
Here's a text message that just arrived here at our Bradshaw and Bryant. Hold on, KFAN text line. It's a story as old as time. A young, whip-smart, telegenic reporter comes to a new town, and the entrenched, scared to change. Codgers in the newsroom can't compete with the new talent. So what do? Undermine and sabotage her at every turn, keeping the old boys club in place. Sad, really. Signed, Fan a Man. So that's what you guys did.
We had nothing to do with
sabotage your career.
We didn't sabotage it. I'm not going to comment any further, but
oh, you're not?
No. About
you're going to wait for that book idea I gave you, aren't you?
I wrote everything I wanted to write in the chapter, and I still have a copy of it. So if I wanted to do an addendum, I certainly could. But
why don't you go ahead and release it on your X account?
No, not doing that.
I know Common will never do it, but
no money, no funny.
I've always told him when he retire, he should write a book tell all about all the stuff behind the scenes at KFAN.
My God. Oh, my
so
God.
Many.
That would be a bestseller.
Well, the people I'd be writing about don't even talk to me now. How much less would they talk to me?
Candid interview with Common Man.
There's so many good stuff.
And again,
and not really harmful. They're just silly.
Yeah.
To the text
just
messenger.
Rich in material, though.
It's rich in material. It's so good. Well, okay. Well, then I'll have to take your guys' word for it. Framework of a deal. Kaprizov's here, and we're going to all live happily ever after. But until that name is on that John Hancock is on the dotted line, because
tennis plugged in.
Maybe he doesn't feel that this team is on its way because
they haven't.
Well, here's the deal, though.
Be a winner
because that's kind of like the only reason he wouldn't sign the contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is
right.
The money's there.
They're going to give him. They're going to give him money in years that nobody else is going to be able to do.
Correct.
So then it just becomes from all reports are like the Twin Cities and Minnesota is similar to where he grew up in Russia in terms of
Leningrad,
fishing and hunting and outdoor stuff. Like he likes all that stuff. Like so he's not like a California guy that doesn't want to play in Minnesota. So it comes down to, do you think you can win here? Well, won't we have? Waiting from July to September, would he really have come to epiphany that he didn't know in July about whether he can win here? So, like, if you'd already come to that conclusion in July, then we would be moving on of, all right, well, how can we trade you and send you to where you want to go? And that hasn't happened yet.
I heard he re-upped his country club membership at the Leningrad Country Club. That's what I heard. Oh, my gosh.
I know he's got a nice place to live.
Does he hold a handicap here in town?
Don't know you.
I wonder if Thielen does.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I got to believe he does.
Oh, yeah.
Look up his gin handicap. You can do it. Look up it. See what?
He's a good golfer. He's played the...
He's talented. He said he told Teneby and I on live radio about 5 years ago that when he retires, he's going to try to get his tour card. That's what he told us.
I probably wouldn't do that.
Well, he said he said he's going to get a tour card and play on tour. Or he's going to attempt to.
Sure.
I mean, he didn't guarantee
well,
it.
Hey, good athlete.
What says I need a last name and an email address?
I thought you could look up anybody on there.
Without an email?
Yeah, I thought you could just look it up. I don't know. Mine says like 4.8. I haven't been a 4.8 in 4.8 years. I ain't a 4.8 anymore. I was going into the season, but this year I've just been an abject failure.
I heard you talk about your golf game this morning.
I'm just terrible. And that's the way it is.
Well, you got till what? Until the snow flies, basically, right? You're going to keep going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll play tomorrow and the day after and the day after. I can't stop myself. I'm addicted.
I know you're addicted.
Yeah. Can't stop myself. So that's that.
Great question.
Rest or rust?
For the Lynx?
Yeah, if you're Cheryl Reeve, do you rest players? Do you worry about that?
I think she's doing a combination. I think she's going to continue to play her starters and maybe minimize the minutes they're going to play, but I don't think she's going to sit them down for an extended period of time.
Thielen doesn't have one in Minnesota, but he does have one in North Carolina. 1.5.
Really?
He was at the club at Longview.
Oh, the club at Longview. 1.5, that's nice.
That's a good.
That's a guy that he can play. Now, 1.5 ain't going to get you on Corn Ferry, but
no.
That's the thing. Is some of these guys I've always had fun with. That there are people that have dedicated their entire life to golf since they were 5 years old,
right?
And have played at levels where they've won junior championships, state championships, and they never get a tour card because it's a really hard thing to do. And then you get these pro football players and baseball players that go, I think when I'm done, I think I'm going to go get myself a tour card. God bless you. I hope you do, but it's
who's the closest
that would be like Phil Mickelson saying, I think I'm going to go play football.
Right. The closest pro football player
John Brody was pretty
Brody's
good.
the one that comes to my mind.
He played okay.
Yeah.
He was an okay player. He played senior tour golf.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He played on the senior tour, and he may have even won on the senior tour. I don't recall. I know he had some nice finishes.
Yeah. Not often you can do that.
I'm predicting that as part of the grand announcement of the Kaprizov contract, as the greatest human being on earth, he will also be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Do you think he will, as the greatest person on? Because Craig Leopold basically said he's the best human being on the planet.
That's a statement.
I can't find your handicap on here. You must not put it in.
No, I'm done. Is Kaprizov married?
No,
I don't believe so. Yeah.
Well, then we don't have to worry about his wife finding work in the Twin Cities.
No, she's
because he doesn't have a wife.
Excuse me.
Because that's always a consideration.
It's a big concern.
Here's what. Well, I guess my question on the rest and rust. Do you believe, like, let's say you said, so we know Fee's their best player. Who? Give me another Lynx player.
McBride.
Let's say McBride.
Carlson.
Let's say McBride. You go. We're going to let you take the last 2 games off. Maybe you got, Nixon, but just get refreshed for the playoffs. See, I don't think all of a sudden she'd come back in the first game of the playoffs 8 days later, because you'd have 2 games sometimes. It might even be 12 days later. That all of a sudden she'd forget how to shoot a basketball and dribble and go, oh my gosh.
Look at.
She's lost all. She's lost. They should have played her more. I think I always say, rest up. I don't worry about the rest.
Well, look at Nafisa. She missed how many days with the injury, the legitimate ankle injury, and she came back and put up 32, I think. So, and she was gone for 2 weeks.
There you go.
But I think it's I think Cheryl, I'm putting words in her mouth. I'm just saying what we've seen so far in limited time, that since clinching the home court for the playoffs, that she'll play her starters, but maybe just shave a bunch of minutes off, and just give them a little rest that way. That way you can stay sharp, and it doesn't matter because no one. And I think they play the Aces coming up. They're on a roll right now.
That's Daffy Duck on his shirt, isn't it? Look at.
Oh, I missed it again. It kind of.
Well, you can barely see. He doesn't stand still so we can see it.
I know.
It looks like he's got some kind of an avant-garde sort of. What's that kind of artists? Those that just throw paint on a wall. What is it? Abstract. Yeah. It looks like an abstract painting of Daffy Duck on his shirt. I know it is, and it's look. There it is. Stop bouncing around and let's see your shirt, dude.
Without taking a tight shot of it.
Okay, watch now. Here it is. See if that's Daffy Duck.
This is the kid from Canada.
It's not. I can't. It's got to be Daffy
dizzy.
Duck.
Yeah.
Either that or it's Dizzy
Because it's
Dean.
only on one side of his T-shirt. That's why, again,
it's either Daffy Duck or Dizzy Dean.
Dizzy Dean.
Remember Dizzy Dean?
Well, I remember the name. I didn't see him play.
I thought you had a famous picture of him when you were at the World Series.
No, it was not Dizzy Dean.
He had a brother.
I feel like it looks more like the Jack Lynx mascot than Daffy Duck.
Is that what it is? It's a mask. It's something.
It's meat sauce.
Yeah, maybe it's meat sauce.
Or it looks like
I can't tell because he's standing still now. But
it almost looks like
I don't know.
It's Daffy Duck.
Like Elf.
Maybe that's
1980s television show.
Maybe that's who it is. You should do a 64-team bracket for the greatest people on earth. First round matchup: Kirill Kaprizov versus Mother Teresa.
I always love that one.
I'd give Kaprizov the nod, especially
right
if he signs
now,
that. If he signs that deal, I think he wins the whole tournament.
Right. Well,
that's how badly I want
brings
him
the
to
cup home. He'll win the whole tournament.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, then rest and roster. I would play. I would rest.
Well,
and like you say, you can play him. Yeah, right. And
anyway,
play him for a few minutes here and there, but I don't think they need.
I don't think they're losing their edge right now.
That's it. I don't think they're going to lose edge if
Cheryl runs a tough practice. They're practicing full throttle. I wouldn't think they're not getting practice days off. So I think that, they're gearing themselves up for what looks like a really good chance of winning another WNBA title.
Did I tell you Deuce is doing play-by-play for GameTimeMN.com?
Yeah, you did.
He's done 2.
That's great.
He's done 2 soccer games and 1 volleyball game.
Soccer is not easy.
And here's where
volleyball's not easy.
Here's where he and I really diverge. He actually memorized I grilled him. I took the rosters of the volleyball teams and I said, "Who's number 11? Who's number 13? Who's number 8?
What age group is this now?
This is high school. It's all
Okay.
high school.
Oh, man.
He knew.
You didn't send your wisdom down to him about you just throw two names out?
Well, he
and
knows
use
that
those?
story. The reason you can't do that in now, because at GameTimeMN.com, there's audio and video. So you can't get, when I was doing play-by-play, it was just radio. So no one would, unless you were at the game listening to the radio, you could just say, Jones over to Johnson, Johnson over to Smith, and Johnson, Jones, and Smith might not even be on the team. No one would know the difference. Deuce is actually taking it seriously and putting forth some effort.
Listen, he's getting great experience. There's no shortcut. I mean, you talk to anybody who's had that kind of success. That's the way you do it. People ask me all the time, "Well, start."
Hey, there it is, Daffy Duck.
That is. It is.
That is, isn't it?
What is Y3 as a company? It sure looks like it's abstract, though. It's
an abstract Daffy Duck. I knew it was Daffy Duck.
Well, there you go.
Now I can rest easy and drive home without that.
Yeah, that nagging at you.
It was nagging at me.
Yeah, I know.
It's a hell of a shirt.
So, Deuce going to be available for Spread Spring tomorrow,
he'll
1:30?
be available,
Via phone, I assume.
I hope. How would he just tell his boss I'm going to be gone for 90 minutes to be on the radio for 8?
Back at it tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
No, 1:30.
1:30. Spread Spring.
Yep.
Teddy, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We really appreciate your patronage today. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you again at 12 noon. Stick around. Big Ticket and JG. They're next here on The Fan.
Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon. And good night, Minnesota. And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Let's be real. Life happens. Kids spill. Pets shed. And accidents are inevitable. Find a sofa that can keep up at WashableSofas.com. Starting at just $699, our sofas are fully machine washable inside and out. So you can say goodbye to stains and hello to worry-free living. Made with liquid and stain-resistant fabrics. They're kid-proof, pet-friendly, and built for everyday life. Plus, changeable fabric covers let you refresh your sofa whenever you want. Need flexibility? Our modular design lets you rearrange your sofa anytime to fit your space, whether it's a growing family room or a cozy apartment. Plus, they're earth-friendly and trusted by over 200,000 happy customers. It's time to upgrade to a stress-free, mess-proof sofa. Visit WashableSofas.com today and save. That's WashableSofas.com. Offers are subject to change and certain restrictions may apply.